Greetings, everyone. Eli the Restorer back with you. Hope you're doing well today. The energies, the retrograde is really getting intense, and lots of people are freaking out about this. I got some good news for you. It has to be this way. I recently talked about the energy shift that's happening in our planet. Remember, we're the soup of creation. We all have a piece in the puzzle. Everybody is important. That's the one thing that I love about studying the Kabbalah and Judaism. Everybody is important here. Yeah, we're singular, we're this one person, but if you think about the cells in your body, which one isn't important? Which one would you get rid of? And that's where the whole suicide crisis is really affecting people, because we need all of you here. All of you here to enjoy, to be, to share your essence, your gifts. And one thing that I've learned from my rabbi and other teachers is because we live in a fractal reality, and I'll be talking about more of that Benoit Mandelbrot's discovery about how everything in reality is fractaling upon everything else. Everything has a front side and a back side. And my beloved rabbi has a wonderful metaphor to explain this, and he also talks about free will and predestination. He says, if we're born under the warring planet Mars, we are destined to shed blood in our lifetime. We have no choice. That's the predestination. Where free will comes in is we can choose to do it as a serial killer or as a surgeon. That's why there's a front side and a back side to everything. And I'm here to help people restore themselves to their wholeness, to be living out the front side of their predestination, not the back side. You know, come on, folks. We're not rapists. We're not murderers. We're not bank robbers. We're not even gossipers, which in Judaism they call lashon hara, the evil tongue, which is a grave sin because of the damage that it does. And believe me, my feminine essence loves the gossip. So I'm not sitting here immune to that too. She loves to talk about things and that, but you know what? It doesn't help. And you know, with the Byron Katie stuff that I've been talking about lately, pay attention to our thoughts. So when you're in a situation and you're seeing only the backside, please know you're only seeing one side of the coin. There's a whole front side to this. So for instance, I've gone through some stuff in my life as a professional, and when it initially hit me, it was a gut shot to me. But I was able to take a couple of deep breaths and realize, okay, you're seeing the backside, because the backside usually triggers us. It makes us uncomfortable, makes us angry, makes us fearful, stresses the heck out of us. But I was able to take a couple of breaths and say, but I know there's a front side to this situation. We live in duality land, so you have to believe there's a front side. So many people are stuck on the backside to everything. For instance, when this whole Donald Trump election happened, and I'm very apolitical, so don't get mad at me, I vote God in every election, the creator. I don't get into the political stuff. Half the people in America, I think, saw only the backside of what would be happening. And I'm not saying I see the total front side of Donald Trump's election victory, but I know there's got to be a front side to this. And so when you're going through stuff in your life and you're thinking, oh, this is horrible, I can't believe this is happening and that, just wait, be still, and just say, but I know there's a front side to this. Where is this going to lead me? I use the metaphor a lot that we are on a chessboard of life, and we have the illusion that we're making the moves. Guys and gals, we're being moved by circumstances, situations, losses of jobs, change of health, aging, all that stuff. We're always being moved, and we're kind of like moths going to the flame. The Creator knows how to attract our attention. It knows how to get us to move on our chessboard. I'll give you an example. When I decided to close my practice and my life in 2004 to move to Colorado, I was thinking, okay, I'll go up there, I'll meet people, I'll start a little practice, and I'll grow it in those mountains. Little did I know, within 2 weeks, that's where I was going to meet Rabbi Joel, who's been teaching me ever since the last 14 years. I had my idea, the chessboard was intriguing to me, to make that move, to be in the mountains, because I love Colorado and the scenery there and just the energy there. But the universe had another plan. It had to seduce me into moving to Colorado. Within 2 weeks, that's where I met Rabbi Joe on a fluke. But you know, when the universe is working for us, and it always is, it's always going to attract us and seduce us to get us to where we need to be. If you want to look at a situation in your life, sometimes it really sucks when we're going through a loss or a job change or a divorce. You know, even our DUI clients, the ones that my brother and I work with in our practice sometime, I start the sessions with them saying the same thing. Yes, this is the backside. You got arrested for drunk driving, and it's costly. But I'm committed to helping you find the front side to this situation. And if they're open to that, not only will they see it, but on occasion, they'll even send the police officer a thank you card. So even with their situation, and they come in and they're all ticked off, and this is unfair, and all the stories that we hear. But look at situations in your life. Look down the road behind you, and look at those situations that seemed horrible, wasn't going to work out, and then see where it led you. Even in the world, it's easy to see the backside to everything going on in the world. When you're sitting in unity consciousness, like I recommend we do, but that's work, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to be in unity consciousness. That's why I'm so excited about teaching the pineal gland meditation, because it helps to raise your consciousness level up into more unity consciousness, where you're able to see the connected dots. You're not moving on your chessboard one move at a time. You're able to see the whole board and 13 moves ahead of you. That's what unity consciousness provides us in a way. Instead of duality consciousness, this is awful, this shouldn't be happening. I wish I was never born. I hear that from people on occasion. Because life can be difficult. It's hard here. We're in 3D reality. You know, one of my ways of talking about 3D is it's kind of like the shithole of creation because of the duality, the polarity, the tension. And then when we get into unity consciousness more and more, we're able to see it more clearly and say, oh, that's where I've been led. You know, one of the things that I find very ironic, and I talk about this Unity Church that I do my meditations at, and I have a practice, and I actually attend there. And isn't it ironic that this showed up in my life and I was able to say yes to it and just move into that direction? And I've talked before about it, but just to remind you, if you haven't seen the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man, I highly, highly recommend it, because we want to become the yes men and the yes women in the world. We want to be more open to life instead of saying no to life. Because here's the thing, if the chess mover, not us, but the creator, the universe, wants us to move on a lateral square, we're getting moved. Here's the thing, you could do it openly, or you could resist the heck out of it, but you're still going to end up there. I was talking to a lady yesterday about life and skydiving and the things that I've learned from skydiving. We're all going to jump out of the plane at times. You got two choices, free will. You can be pushed out, or you can consciously choose to jump out on your own. And you know me, I'm talking about consciousness, so I'm going to say consciously jump out of that plane, free fall, and let's see where you land on your chessboard. And if you look at your life and the movements that have been made, like me today, sitting here doing a YouTube video. When I was in my 20s, probably even in my 30s, if somebody would have came up to me and said, hey Tom, I see you in 2018, I see you with a camera talking to people, I would have had some skepticism. Now, I was pretty open back then. I wouldn't go like, no way, I would never do that. Stay open to all the possibilities. You know, the one thing that the Kabbalists talk about in Judaism is this whole thing with prophecy. And I think a lot of people have a mistaken belief about what prophecy is. What the prophets were able to do is they could see what was happening in the moment, and they could predict, if you don't change this, this is where you're going to end up. So they would always make that statement to whoever was in the Jewish camps, will you change it? Well, let's look at our health. If we're not monitoring our eating too much sugar, smoking, etc., I can be your prophet. I can tell you how it's going to end up. You know, so many of my peers at my age, now that I'm soon to be 67, I see them waddling around, limping, struggling, out of breath. You know, I'm going to a graduation party this weekend, and I'm already planning to play 4 or 5 games of volleyball at 66. So everything you're doing today will lead you to the next square in your life, good or bad. And ultimately, it's all good. You know, I don't like good or bad because that's duality consciousness. It appears bad, but that's the backside. Spend some time, be still, sit by your pool, and say, okay, what could be the gift in this situation? And I've always had a saying, there's gifts with crap on it, and we have to take the time to, once we clean the crap off, we'll be able to see the gift that popped up. And there's always a gift, guys. So I just wanted to share this with you today, the front side and back side, because I think that's a really important concept to practice. And then there's usually a middle. You know, I don't want to spend time talking about coherent superpositioning today. What that taught me is there's always a middle. There's the back side, the front side, and then the middle. And I try to stay in the middle. Yeah, this sucks that I had to go through this, but look at how it's awakening me. How I got to Unity Church was kind of ironic, and I'm not going to share the whole story, but there was a new pastor that showed up at the church we were working out of, and I wasn't real fond of this guy. He was a little judgy, really conservative in his religious beliefs and spirituality and that. He lied about a couple of things, but instead of decking him like I wanted to, I thought, okay, this is happening for a reason. He has been sent to be my Judas. Shortly after that, I had sent a message to the pastor at the church we're working out of now, and I said, you know, we're looking for new space. If you hear about anything in the area, let us know. And within 10 minutes, I got a message back from her, why don't you guys move in here? Now, if the pastor at the old church hadn't been the way he was, would I have sent that message? So take a breath. Yeah, this sucks. I'm going to get through this, and then start looking for the front side in this situation. Sometimes it's hard to discover, but I promise you, I guarantee you, there's always a front side to this. And thank you for taking the time to listen today. I love sharing some of the wisdom that has been given to me, especially in the times we're living in, what I call the end times, but it's not like an ending, it's like an ending to a new beginning. So we're iterating, as fractal reality will tell you, we're going from one layer to a brand new layer, kind of like in the tree trunk, you get those layers. We're creating a new layer, folks, and it's exciting as heck if you can see the front side to it. All right, thanks for checking in, and I'll be back soon. God bless.